It's time for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj.
Not even close this time. Justin Jarrett, the only one we got right. Marcus Walsh and Kevin Libby are disembodied in the darkness. We will see them from time to time as they make their way back from Beaufort, the Isle of Ladies, where May River boys won big, but the Beaufort girls won big. And Bracken Lambert is with us at the outset. We're gonna let him get in and out of here because he is in the throes of crossover season at USCB, a term that strikes fear into the heart of sports information directors and athletic directors everywhere.
We are all very busy, covering high school basketball and everything else that we're doing. But is there anybody that is busier than Bracken Lambert this time of year? I don't think so.
Very few.
You've been everywhere, man.
Jumping.
Yeah, it's
I've lived that life, my friend.
You surely have. I mean, yeah, JJ, you and I both have. We know crossover season, spring season.
Well, I didn't really know crossover season at USCB, but I know the concept of crossover season because of what I've done the rest of my life.
Right,
and it's hell.
spring sports down here is where there's literally one sport not in season right now, and it's soccer. Because all the track and field athletes are, most of the time cross country runners. So, or all the cross country runners are track and field athletes. So,
right.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But busy day today. Tough night at the yard at City Hall, as we call it in Hardyville. I know you guys call it Richard Gray or whatever, but I've learned that true Hardy villains just call it City Hall. So that's what I call it now.
Gotcha.
Play over at City Hall. But tough night at City Hall. Had a 5-0 lead, let it evaporate, lost 9-5. We'll get into that a little bit, I guess, if you want to, but we don't have to because we have good news. Softball, big day at Savannah State, and then, of course, we'll talk about the big day tomorrow coming up.
Right.
But how about that softball squad? That's my girl.
They're on cruise control right now, and it actually, guys, I'm gonna have to hop out real quick.
Emergency call.
Yep, I'll hop in later if I get back.
All right, so we'll let Bracken take care of his emergent call, and we'll shift gears instead and talk about what went down over in Beaufort, where you boys were, the boys in the darkness. How'd it go over there?
I tell you what.
And actually, before you get started, let's welcome in our hoops analyst, who's in the green room, Coach Fish. What's going on, man?
Okay.
What up, man? How are y'all doing?
You might have something to say about your analysis of the Sharks and the Eagles. Hey, look at that. We got light. So, tell us about the
because I'm home, so I'm not going to be in the dark much longer.
Oh,
I tell you what, this was an interesting start to the night because Beaufort just absolutely Beaufort just absolutely came through and did a bunch of. Bear with me, fellas.
Yeah. Fish, you were over at Bluffton tonight?
Yeah, I got there late to the girls' game, like third quarter, but I saw most of the boys.
Yeah, so the girls lost, no shame there, to Bishop England, who leads the region and is pretty much in command. But then the boys held on 58-50. Pretty good game?
Yeah, they were actually down at 3 at halftime. Got it together third quarter and pushed it out, and then didn't really look back after that.
All right. We will have highlights on that one from Jakai Morrow. Check the IG. He'll be posting those up and tagging us to collab. So check those out. But around the region, Bishop England beating Bluffton on the girls' side, Hilton Head beating Colleton, and Beaufort beating May River. And then on the boys' side, Bluffton beats Bishop England, Hilton Head routs Colleton, and May River beats Beaufort bad. So I'll get the standings updated here in a minute, but nothing too surprising there. I guess maybe the margin of Hilton Head Colleton's a little surprising. Colleton seems to be trending back in the other direction on the boys' side. And then, I think Beaufort's just cooked, it seems like.
Yeah, I haven't seen their boys play. What they got? 1 win, 2 wins, something like that.
Yeah, no wins in region. They've had a couple close calls, but then they just got cooked tonight by May River. So doesn't
Yeah,
look like
I think they're more than
Max
cooked.
Araj has slid in the back door.
They've been burnt alive, is what they've been this season. That's pretty much the story of it, unfortunately. But I am on my way back home from Whale Branch. The Hurricanes of Hampton County get the win. They pull away in the end. Second half was very interesting at the start. Whale Branch came back from being down 10 to take the lead, and then Hampton got the lead right back and never gave it back to Whale Branch. Ended up getting the win. I don't remember what the final score was. I got out of there right before everybody else did, so I could get on the road and back home as quickly as possible. But when I left, it was 63-47, and Hampton County had gone on a 10-0 run.
All right. You definitely want to beat the crowd at Whale Branch because once they announce call your rides, it starts getting crowded out there.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people picking a lot of people up. So you got to get on the road.
You ain't joking. That's the truth.
But yeah, Hampton's looking good, man. They took down Bridges the other night. They're number 3 in the state right now in 2A, and they're rolling. They've bought into what Josh James is selling. He's an alum, Wade Hampton alum, who came back home, and they're doing something special over there. I'm excited about that because I thought they might drop off a little for a year. And then be back, but no drop off at all. They look great. Fish, Bluffton boys. Any more analysis on that one? Not really.
I mean, nah, man.
If you can't say nothing nice or what, like.
Nah, it's not even that. Like, if they just gotta figure out defensively. Like, it's not necessarily that they're bad. It just looked like 5 individuals playing defense and not 5 playing as one. To where now, like, you kind of limit your margin of error because you're not playing like as a unit. You just got 5 people playing individual defense. Like, so I mean, I think they came out. I think they were a little lax. Bless you. I think they were a little lax defensively to start.
Yeah.
I mean, they figured it out, man. So.
Yep. Word.
Yeah.
We can get Marcus Walsh back in here. He has settled. What's up, buddy? Marcus.
Back from
resume to tell us about
Batmobile.
Buford. Yep. Alfred delivered you.
I tell you what, I was so impressed with the Buford girls tonight. They just came out and were blitzing, like literally blitzing May River. Defensively, balls were getting stolen left and right, and they came out just with their heads on fire from tip until the end of the game. The final score was a big time win for Buford. They win 56-34. And really, there was never a moment where May River was able to get any big time momentum. Just the tenacity of the Eagles and Zaria Coaxum.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's tough.
I think she ended up having 14 points, according to Kevin. She got after it on defense, and she turned that defense into points tonight. Yeah. She was absolutely phenomenal, just doing it all, and a huge asset to that team. And obviously, you've got Duncan, you've got Dalton. We talked a lot about them. I was surprised looking at my notes before the game, just going over a once over them as I typically do, that my goodness gracious, Nia Taylor is the leading scorer on that team. That really surprised me because I think of Dalton and Duncan, but they're second and third. And, Taylor added some points as well. She had a pretty impressive game.
Jordan Green would be the leading scorer on the team, right, Fish? Like, she was averaging like a double-double, right? Like, they could have had something really good going this year, and they're going to be good. They're going to be good.
And so that is a huge and definitely a huge transformation from the 32-28 game that we saw, or that was played a few weeks prior. So,
Yeah,
I
a little
mean,
different.
Buford just continues to impress. I was so impressed with how they looked the first time that I saw them against Bluffton a couple of weeks ago. And they continue to look sharp. They're 13-8 on the year. I mean, Reggie's got them playing really well at the right time. He's busy as heck, but he's got them playing really well. And then as far as the guys' game, oh my goodness, the guys of Buford started out on a huge tear of their own. They were up 9-6 at the end of one, a little bit less than the 11-2 that the ladies were up at the end of one. They were up 9-6, and Cleckley was just making everything in sight. I was thinking, like, in the first half, at least the first quarter, if Buford happens to win this game, which I thought they could make it competitive, and they were competitive for a while, we might have to talk to Cleckley after the game because he was dominating. And then here come the May River Sharks. Second quarter, and I think Misa, who I had on tonight, I think he was the straw that stirred the drink a little bit in a way, because
he brought the vibes.
Yeah, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was great having him on. They went on a 20-9 run in the second quarter. They were down 9-6. They led 26-18 at half, and then second half it was just good night, Irene. We talked to Will Bostwick at the end of the game because he was the guy that we saw the most from. So he was our player of the game, and a born and bred guy down there in this area. And obviously, we know what he does on the football field and on the basketball court. And he was such a contributor. Macy had some moments tonight as well, and they were able to obviously get their bench guys in, which was huge. And what ended up being a 62-29 win. They turned the scoreboard off so quickly that I was about ready to finish up. I looked over, there was no score, and I forgot to write it down. So I'm like,
don't do that.
It was a big win. It was a big win for
when
May
the
River.
home team loses. That tends to happen when the home team loses.
That was kind of a funny thing that happened towards the end of the game. But yeah, 62-29, May River with a huge win. It was rough for them for about the first quarter plus, and then the huge 56-34 win for Buford. And both teams are looking pretty dang serious in both girls and guys action. Next week, again, we'll have 4 games, which are going to be staggered out. So this week's games will air next weekend. And then Tuesday, we will have the matchups, or the girls and guys matchups between May River and Bluffton at the Den. I plan on having Tony Red Bruin with me in the second quarter of the guys' game. He was texting me. He's like, I really want to get the kids out to see May River and Bluffton. I said, I think we can make that happen. So I was able to switch him and Misa out. And then on Thursday, we will be at Hilton Head, Buford, and that's going to be senior night for the Eagles. So we'll be back at the Isle of Ladies in Buford at the Great Kirkland Court, named after Linda Kirkland, who was former AD, and I actually just found that out via Wayne Quinlan yesterday when I was at work.
She's a legend. She's a legend. Everybody for generations love Miss Kirkland. She's
going back to the 70s, I guess, when she started there at Buford, and I saw that she just passed in 22. So was able to get that information and a lot of other information out to the folks. But it was a fun night. Always is a fun night at Kirkland Court and at Buford. That's where I got my start at WHHI, calling the Broad River Bowl of 2013 between Bluffton and Buford. 35-27, Buford won. And I think I told you this, JJ, with everybody celebrating at JP2 during the guys' post game last week and me getting doused and bumped with the water and whatnot. It was a recreation of the first broadcast I ever did for WHHI, but it was Buford doing it, of course, because they had the huge win. I forget who the running back was back then, but he had a huge night that night.
What year?
2013.
Oh, geez. 13 would have been in my blind spot. But now I'm going to
I want to think like his first name was Eric, but I could be wrong.
Could be right.
But Buford holds a special place in my heart just because of that. And looking forward certainly to getting to the Den. Called some great games there, and then we'll be back at Buford on Thursday. So we're rocking and rolling. I'm going to be featuring a very special tie coming up on Tuesday. Tie that I got for Christmas.
Yeah, there you go.
Special tie.
I just want to say this about Beaver because this is now probably the third or fourth time I've noticed this season where Beaver gets the lead and either has the lead at the end of the first quarter or the lead at the end of the half, and they either blow it after the first quarter or the second quarter, and it's just like they just don't have enough to finish the job.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what bad teams do. I mean, like they can only hold it together for so long, and then it falls apart.
But
I mean,
the thing
it's
for
just
me is,
they're just not a very good team this year. It happens.
I mean,
they
the game starts 0-0, so yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
close at some point.
It tends
Right.
to
At
be
least at the
close for the
beginning, it'll be
first quarter.
close.
Well, I know that, but like I'm just saying, like I just feel like I don't know because I know they have talent on that team. I just feel this.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that have talent though, and it just doesn't ever work. And for whatever
think
reason.
The best way I can describe it, the best way I can describe the Buford guys, and we'll see if this pans out when I see them again on Thursday of next week against Hilton Head on senior night, is that they kept it close, especially tonight, and they had the lead. Cleckley was going off, and May River was taking a little bit of time, and they weren't at their A game right away, and that's what Will told us post game. May River was kind of feeling them out a little bit, but when May River kicked it into second gear a couple of minutes into the second quarter, that's when Buford was like, "Uh-oh." And then
that also is like, the good teams make an adjustment to what's happening, and the lesser teams aren't able to then counter with an adjustment. I mean, that's just the difference between good teams and bad teams. Is basically what we're describing.
I mean, and like psychologically too, like I'm going to a game playing a team who has one win.
Right.
It's going to take me a little bit to get going as a 15, 16-year-old kid.
My question would be this: Is it a player personnel problem, or is it a coaching problem, or
it's never that black and white. It's probably a little bit of both. I mean, it just didn't mesh this year. I mean, here's the thing: like when
injuries, like with football, is a big part of it too.
Yeah, and if you coach any sport at any one school for long enough, there's going to be an ebb and flow to it. You're going to have years where you have talent and it meshes well together and you have good chemistry and it works. And then you're going to have years where it just doesn't. It doesn't come together for whatever reason. You don't have the right leaders. A couple of kids you were counting on didn't come out. I mean, there's all kinds of factors that can happen within a program. So for us to sit here and diagnose it is really impossible without having a lot of inside information. As far as like blame, but I'm not really interested in playing the blame game anyway. Because again, it's a complex situation. But it's not working this year. Facts. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It does feel like there's more talent there than the results would indicate. But I also think there's a snowball factor. I mean, they got beat up early, and do you know how hard it is to get 12 high school age boys to all pull in the same direction and keep it that way for months? Like it starts going sideways, people start letting go of the rope, and then it gets worse and worse and worse. So it's not anything as big as all that. It's a year where it didn't come together. I don't think it's like, oh my God, what's going on at Buford or anything like that. I don't know what their JV's doing. Their JV might be lighting up the world for all I know. But if you consistently underperform for 2 or 3 years, then you start to go, okay, what's going on here? Why are we not developing kids in our program? So I don't know. Here's a thought: like Lyles was irreplaceable. Buford culture has changed. I don't know. I think he can get it back there. Lyles was good at a lot of things, and there were other things that I think he, had like anyone else. He had weaknesses too. I think the guy they brought in, Bradley Adams, has a good reputation. He's been thought to be a sharp AD. So, there's a little bit of a
There's a
turnover
learning
process
curve.
there.
And
First year AD, I think what set them back more than anything is they just didn't have a dedicated AD for most of last year. I mean, when you have an interim
Yeah,
AD for the
that's
whole
very true.
year, you don't name anyone until like spring. Um, like who's running the show, who's making the decisions. Labor starts to get divided among multiple people, and the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing, and who's doing all the recruiting, and all that stuff.
Right.
So I think that's all that's going on there. I think they're having a down year because they didn't really have the normal leadership in place last year, and I think next year it should cycle back up. But what about Whale Branch? Whale Branch girls and boys both took the L's tonight, but that
Yes, they
football
did.
program strong. I'm excited to see who's going to coach you boys over there at Whale Branch. Excited to see that. I expect you guys to take a big step back up this year. Excited to see how you look when you get back out there, Ra. Missed you last year with the knee injury.
Yeah. I mean, tonight, I'll say this about Whale Branch tonight. They played a great game. It's just Hampton had a better game plan. They just had a better game plan. There wasn't anything I saw that Whale Branch did horribly,
Yeah,
in any aspect.
it's a
They
fun
had a good
matchup.
game.
Those
Yeah,
two teams
it
match
was a
up
great
well.
matchup. It was a fantastic matchup tonight. I just think, I think it was Hampton who had the better game tonight. I mean, that's all it was. It was a very good game by both teams. It's just one team had a better game than the other.
Here's a very good observation by Kevin Libby. Denizens don't grow on trees, and there are no more denizens at Beaufort, and that
is a
that
great observation.
changed
That's a good
changed
point.
the program a little bit the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Looking at some other results from tonight. Lake Marion girls 62-37 over Bridges. Hampton County girls, as you mentioned, beat Whale Branch 51-40. Solid game. Patrick Henry girls got Carleton Prep 45-39 tonight, so they got their get back on Coach Belinda. JP2 girls 51-23 over Hilton Head Christian. Then on the boys' side, we told you the Region 6 scores. Crosby BA 55-47. So good job. Patrick Henry 67, Carleton Prep 51, and that's what I got right now. We had some other scores last night or a couple nights ago that were pretty interesting. JP2 Cross Girls was a good little matchup. JP2 ended up pulling away 57-43. Did you get to that one, Fish?
Yeah, I was out at that one. I got there about second quarter. I think Cross was down 10 when I got there. Ended up tying it up, but I mean, I knew they came out in his zone, man. Which, I mean, we've already played them once. You got the more athletic, more aggressive team. I don't know why you come out in the zone, but once I saw that, I knew that JP2 kind of. I knew that they would handle them pretty easily at that point.
How'd they carve it up? They shoot. I mean, they shoot the three pretty well.
They pass the ball well, man. Like,
yeah.
If you look at their team, they don't necessarily have the best ball handling outside of Lauren.
Right.
But they move the ball very, very well.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
They move it on the
I mean,
perimeter.
even
they
just
move it
looking
in
at the
and out.
floor, like from person to person, like thought Cross was more skilled across the board, but JP2 plays very well as a team, man. I told Karen after the game, like I enjoy watching them play ball. Even though it was their 5th game in 6 nights, she was disappointed in how they played. Like, I always enjoy watching them girls play.
Yeah,
They
been solid.
have been great, and I tell you what, they have played like a bunch of teams. They've played a bunch. I of course have talked to Karen as well over the last couple of weeks leading into the games that I did last week with JJ, and I mean I am so impressed with both those teams, with JP2 and what they've got going on. But Karen is definitely the leader of the pack there. Been there a long time and has always run as long as I've been calling games of hers, which goes back a few years at least. She runs a great program, and yeah, it's really fun to watch. and it's very fun to watch them
it's
play.
solid. And
it gets a little shaky if you make them do what they're not comfortable doing. Which, like I said, man, I've coached against her, coached against them. We beat them pretty handily the first time. But yeah, just the cross direction it was a tough game to watch. Tough game to watch.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Going back to Buford girls, Nia Hayward and Dalia Laborde, you know where they've been hanging out on Sunday afternoons, don't you, Fish?
Oh yeah, Hardyville, man. One Lowco trainer.
That's right.
Lowco.
They're
Great
out there
stuff.
every time. They don't miss a chance to get in work. It's no secret why they're doing what they're doing. They're highly skilled because they have put in the reps, and it's fun to watch them. It's fun to watch that group of girls that comes out on Sundays get after it and get better every week. But come join us Sundays in the Ville, oneloco.org. Get registered.
Yes,
it's just
sir.
$20. Come get some great training. We're launching up baseball and softball this weekend. We got the Diamond Canes are rocking and rolling. The fields are in good shape. My man One Time was out there getting after it. So he was out there dragging the fields up today. He's got my softball field all edge. So we're ready to go. But any other thoughts, Fish, on you got to meet One Time twice today, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. Happy man.
Did he have his little dog?
Oh yeah, he did.
He's got his little mechanical dog on the leash. They tried to. I guess they tried to throw him out of Bridges the other night, but he ended up getting a stay. Yeah, they was about to throw him out at Bridges the other night. He was kind of getting them riled up, I guess. But it is what it is. They didn't like it because he was talking when they was winning. But Fish, any other thoughts on the hoop scene before we let you go?
Nah, man. It's ready for the playoffs to start. I'll be interested to see the Bluffton May River boy thing next week.
Long.
But
yeah, those Bluffton May River games should be fun. They should both be good.
Looking forward to catching the game on Tuesday in the Den. And Kevin and I will be on the call, and then again we'll be at Buford again next Thursday for their senior night against Hilton Head.
Right on, man. All right, Fishy. When are you going to get to a USCB game in the Cove? You been to one yet? Yeah, you came out to one.
I haven't even been to one. Nah. How many more games do they have?
They got a few. They got a good one tomorrow. They got Georgia Southwestern coming in. Let me see here. I'll tell you exactly how many they have.
I got to work out a couple kids tomorrow.
We got night games tomorrow, 5:30, 7:30.
p.m.
Saturday prime time.
Okay.
Let's see. Last time they played it was 92-91 at Georgia Southwestern.
The boys or the girls?
The guys, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. The guys, well, all of them. They have you out. He told me his phone was dying. Let's see here. They got home game Saturday. They got one the 17th Monday. Oh, sorry, the 19th Wednesday against Aiken. And then the 26th Wednesday against Columbus State, which is a really good matchup. And then wrap it up March 1st, Saturday against Augusta. They're one game behind Augusta and Columbus State for first in the Peach right now.
I'm thinking it's that February 26th matchup against Columbus State that I'm going to try to hit.
That should be a good Donnybrook. Should be a good one.
Yeah, I'll get
They're all
I'll
good
get out
though,
to
man.
one, man.
It's
I'll
fun.
get out to one. Check it out.
Yeah, we'll have to have you pop on the broadcast for a minute or something.
I'll see what's what out there, man. I have no idea what to expect at that level of basketball. I have no idea what it is.
It's pretty good.
It's fun.
Yeah, I've just never seen it. Like I don't really.
Right. Yeah, that's what you got to come check it out. It's pretty fun. I think you'll enjoy it. The way they play is just a blast. I mean, they just go. 5 in, 5 out. Pressure every made basket. Just play a million miles an hour. 5 out.
That's how it is, man. That's why March Madness is so crazy, man. You get some of the smaller schools; they play so different, man.
Yeah, but a lot of the teams in the conference play that way though. They'll all take the bait and play up tempo, and it is so fun.
It's just funny, like I've said before, though. Like watching every conference has its own style of play.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool.
So
it's fun to see.
That's why I'll always watch the SEC, man. Yeah. That's my favorite style. Just a bunch of athletes out there.
Yep.
And they've got really skilled, man. The Big Ten's tough for me to swallow, tough for me to watch.
I don't like to watch games in the 50s.
Oh yeah, nah, they used to beat us up though, man.
yeah.
But
bludgeon.
anyway, yeah,
well, hey man,
I'll come check the game.
Right on, man. Good to see you, and we'll see you out at the Ville on Sunday.
All right, see you.
Good to see you, Coach.
All right,
take care, man.
Bye.
That's Matthew Fisher Davis, aka Coach Fish, friend of Lowco. Quick shout out to our presenting sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor. They've been with us since the beginning back in 2017. Still with us today. They're our official real estate closing attorney, but they can help you with all your legal needs right in downtown Bluffton. And they're our presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, but they love every team. You'll see their banners up all over the Lowco. They support sports in the Low Country, and so they support LowcoSports, and we hope that you'll join them and become a sponsor. You can email us at info@lowcosports.com. Find us on all the socials. Comment on here. You probably have my number. It's out there all over the place. Just let us know, and we'll get you on board. We welcome back Bracken Lambert from USCB. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
Flippity floppity.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Duty
Not
calls.
a problem.
Yeah.
Duty calls.
Where
were we? I was going to segue to softball and say, what a day for my softball girls over at Savannah State.
They're on cruise control right now, man. That's
what you said right before you got off.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is they didn't even throw Sierra today, which the last time Sierra threw against Savannah State, she threw a no-hitter. So, yeah, I mean, a little more common to see no-hitters in softball. I think we were pretty spoiled having Christy Cook and Ashley Lehman.
We had a million.
We had back-to-back perfect games
on opening day.
On the second day of history.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Actually,
I think I could have thrown a perfect game against them, though, to be fair.
That was Fisher, yeah. Actually, I think it was either yesterday or today that it was 11 years ago, 12 years ago, that no, Ashley Lehman threw her first perfect game.
Okay.
That was one. The little video you made back on it, perfection.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
probably a really shameful video, I'm sure, but
I think it was just a picture of her too, and like a little,
probably
like it looked like a GIF, maybe.
Yeah, at best. It was a different time in terms of
100%
technology.
100%. Yeah,
I didn't have no Canva.
Right.
I think that the softball teams they're hungry, man. They are so hungry to get out there and show that they finished 20-25 last year, but a 4-20 conference record. And I know we talked about it a little bit on the rewind last week, but that record did not show what kind of team that was, especially when they went toe-to-toe with North Georgia and Columbus State. I mean, they walked off Columbus State. Devin Weller had a 3-run homer to beat them on senior day. And so it's going to be a tough year in the conference, but I think these games that you're playing right now, obviously, 3 out of the 4 games they've won by run rule. So I think that's showing that the sticks are out there. And I'll tell you what, Mackenzie Ford, man, she's putting in the work. She went 2 homers, 7 ribbies today.
Holy cow.
I think she had 5 hits. Tamaya Whitlock had 5 hits and a couple of RBIs.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Jaden Goodwin had another. I mean, last year we talked about it. Jaden Goodwin put up video game like numbers for the first week, like 2 weeks of the season. She had like a 1,600 OPS. It was unreal.
Yeah, so 4 was 3 for 6 with a double, 2 homers, 7 RBIs.
Yeah, I mean,
and 2 walks.
So she gets on base, 5 times in 10 at-bats. So and then
she already hit a couple homers, right? She got 4 bombs now.
She's got 4 bombs this year. Yeah,
nice. That's outstanding. Yeah, I can't wait to go check them out. I told my Hardyville girls, I put it on the Sports U group and said, hey, doubleheader, Hardyville tomorrow. Go see college softball. See what it looks like. Start visualizing yourself doing it someday. Because it's just so cool for them that we have y'all right in our backyard. I know, obviously the goal is to be on campus. You'll still be in our backyard, but right now you're like in our backyard. So
Yeah.
we need to take advantage of that and be exposed to it.
Yeah,
But that 341 batting average and 1010 OPS as a team right now is looking real nice.
Yeah, and that was what they were able to do that last year too. You know, they started off red hot, and then you got into conference play, and
strength of schedule matters, obviously. But 9 bombs through 6 games is very exciting, very promising. So, good to see. I love Whitlock. She's my girl.
Yeah, she's a speed demon. And like we said, they only have all 3 of their outfielders are slappers and they're speedsters. They don't have a Shelby Zipper or something out there. But Kaylee Eubanks got her first collegiate home run today, and she was out there playing left field.
Yeah, she was.
A couple of the seniors who are trying to graduate, Darren Miller, Addie Reynolds, both of them are student teaching. So
awesome.
They're going to miss some early games and probably most of the weekday games because of school. So that's going to give opportunity to Kaylee and MJ behind the dish and really get those
MJ had a good day today. Went 1 for 3 with an RBI.
Yep.
I met MJ the other night at the Cove. She's awesome. I think she may may come out. Her and Whitlock both were eating it up. They want to come out and meet my team at Hardyville and help inspire them. So
make sure to take some pictures so that we can tag us in it.
For sure, you bet. We will absolutely do that.
Yeah.
So good day for softball, rough day for baseball. Started out great, ended bad. But big day tomorrow. The best thing about baseball is you get to play again tomorrow, and they get to play 2 tomorrow. Yeah. So great opportunity to bounce back. Double at City Hall.
Let's just say it.
Triple. It's a triple double. Bracken messed around and got a triple double tomorrow. He's got doubleheader for baseball, doubleheader for softball, and doubleheader for basketball.
And I got 2 more events off site too.
What?
Track and field.
Let's just say they're not going to get top priority because this man's got a lot of pans in the fire tomorrow.
Yeah. Track and field wraps up their regular indoor season before track and field indoor championships in Gainesville. They're at the Liberty Open in Lynchburg. So Coach T's going to send me some new stuff so that we can catch up and do all the.
You have to use my AK.
Yeah, she's going to give me some highlights because for me, track and field is the hardest sport to understand a little bit, just because
the context is hard to come by.
So she's going to be like, yeah, this is who I think we need to highlight, and then I can go and kind of
this is meaningful. And then
you
got to lean on your coaches for that.
Yeah, and then women's golf is going to be over here north of the Broad, and they're going to be
Cat Island.
Playing over to Cat Island,
where you famously made a birdie once.
Hey,
that is one of my. That was the course my dad was a member of for years and years and years.
I'm telling you, it's a fun little track. I don't know what kind of shape it's in these days. I think they're getting it back in better shape again. It always kind of up and down depending on the ownership and the economy, basically. But I think it's been pretty good lately. It sounds like. So
I mean, if they're going to go out there and play if 2 college teams are going to,
it must be pretty solid. Yeah. It's really truly one of the more unique and fun tracks in the area. It's kind of a hidden gem. The quality is not on par with some of the high dollar courses, but the quality of the design certainly is. It's a really fun. Was it founded by swingers? I think there's still maybe some of that going on out there if you follow that Buford Whisperer or whatever, Low Country Whisperer on TikTok. You got everybody riled up a while back. I don't know if you followed that whole saga, but that was good.
Nope.
Speaking of Ice Cube, another reason why I love coaching softball in the Ville, there was an Ice Cube hoodie left in my dugout today.
There you go.
Almost copped it, but then I realized it was a youth medium and not an adult medium. So I was going to cop it and just wear it to school one day and see who claimed it.
That schedule that you got tomorrow, Bracken, reminds me of when I was in college. I was in, I think it was my last year of college in Ohio, and I had to call a triple header of Ashland University baseball and then go over to the football stadium and broadcast the spring game.
Oh, wow.
That was a long day.
Yeah.
It was a great day, but it was a long day.
Yeah. We got a busy day tomorrow. We got a couple of our student workers who are over here in Beaufort, so we're going to grab them first thing in the morning, head over to the Ville and get ready for a crazy day, and then move it on over to
moving on. I'll be around the Ville tomorrow. I'll be. We got waves practice out there at 9 a.m. and bringing on a couple of Hardyville boys to just work out with us, get some work.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'll see you there early.
I'll probably swing over. No, I'll be at the high school, and then I'll probably swing over to City Hall and check out the softball. Hopefully, some of my girls show up and check it out.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow night we got the Cove. So it's a
man,
lovely evening. Sunday we got one Lowco training, Sunday skills in the Ville out at the high school, and then of course the Super Bowl and our friend Mark Renix making his allegiance known. Go Birds! I of course my allegiance is well known. I'll be hoping for some more confetti, but I've also made it well known that I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to triumph on Saquon's birthday. The Chiefs have used up so much devil magic this year. I just don't think they have enough left to get it done.
The NFL will find some way to make the
that's such nonsense.
I know.
Such nonsense. I don't. Tell me about the chemtrails too, Brecken.
See, that's straight over my head. I'm just talking. It's late.
Here's the thing. I don't entertain any ideas of professional athletes who are professional competitors. The only reason they are there is because they are the most competitive people in the world. I will never believe that they would allow someone to just write a script for them.
No, I
agree. To follow it. I will never believe that. No way. Not a chance. Those guys want it more than anything. Now, do you occasionally have a scrub who realizes that their paycheck's about their gravy train's about to run out and they sell out and tank their props or whatever? Yes, that's becoming a thing now, and we got to figure that out because this gambling in sports is getting wonky.
Yeah, the MLB umpire who just got fired for it.
Pat Homer.
Allegedly, I don't buy his cover story either. He let his friend use his betting account. Come on, bro. No, you didn't.
Man.
No, you didn't. You were betting on baseball.
And the sad part is that he was one of the better home plate umpires. He was one of the better
umpires.
He called a perfect game in the 2022 World Series. Perfect game, like 100% balls and strikes. Unreal. Never. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt that kind of thing happens, but the idea of a full-scale conspiracy where a team agrees to lose the Super Bowl, no, that's not going to happen. Not a chance. But anyway, you've got a busy day ahead tomorrow. It's baseball at 11, right? Doubleheader starting at 11.
Yep.
And then softball doubleheader at noon. And then we're in the Cove 5:30 and 7:30. So
and then track
wall Sand Sharks.
I don't know what time track starts in the morning, but I know golf tees off at 11 too. So
all right.
All right. But
we'll let you get some rest, Bubba, and we'll see you in the Cove tomorrow night if we don't see you out at City Hall before then.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good night, guys.
I want one of them hats.
Good to see you, Bracken. Have a good one, man.
We got new ones coming. I got some powder blue hat with the navy and white bee little design.
I like that, but I still want that palmetto tree one. I've been promised one of those for a long time.
I want a hat.
Besides it again, what? Medium?
Hat wise, usually LXL on Richardson's.
Okay, this is the game.
Oh, I don't know, but usually it's large, extra large on the flex fit thing.
I like those hats.
I got a big noggin.
All right. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right, word.
All right,
be well, man. We'll see you over there.
Later, man.
See you, man.
Welcome back, Max.
Good to be back. I want one of those hats too, by the way. I'm not gonna lie.
I've been wanting one of those. Faulkner promised me one of those the first day I laid eyes on it, and I ain't got one yet.
I'm waiting for if he's got those powder blue ones coming. I want one of those too, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I used to have a real good collection because I worked there, so I got one of every one we got. But now I'm out of the loop.
I don't really work there.
So. Now I'm just part time.
I'm not
super part
time. I don't even know what I am with USCB these days. Anyway.
I don't know. I somehow get paid to talk about the games while they're happening, which is awesome. Lifelong dream come true.
Good for some.
I definitely.
I had to talk about a
concur.
lot of games without getting paid before I got paid for a couple of those, so that was cool. Yes, we do need. There is NIL merch, but I would like for Lowco to conspire with these players to make some other NIL merch. I want a Catwoman T-shirt. I want Jigsaw on a T-shirt. I want El General on a T-shirt. I want them all.
We came up for Coaxum last night. For Coaxum tonight, rather. We came up with Sweetness because she was dealing the sweetness.
Yeah, and we discussed Sweetness for a moment as well, but
yes,
I kind of overruled it because I think she's more Barry Sanders than Walter Payton.
Right, I agree.
But Archer was proposed, but she's not really a shooter. That's the only hang up there. But then Jigsaw came up during the broadcast, and I feel pretty good about Jigsaw.
I liked both Jigsaw and Maestro. I thought they were both very good.
Yeah, I think both of those work. I'm gonna run both by her tomorrow and see how she feels about them. But yes, I agree with my own quote, Kevin Levy. It was a good one. I somehow get paid to talk about the games while they're happening. It's amazing.
I'm not there yet, but I'm gonna get there one day. Don't worry.
The thing I used to do as a child in front of the television, I now get paid to do. And people come up to me before the game and say, like, I wish I could listen to the game. You call the game while it's happening. And I'm like, oh man, I wish you could do. I mean, you can, but like it might not sync up. If you try to do the stream while you're in the arena, it's probably gonna be way off.
Yeah, it's probably.
I don't think that would work at all.
Tough.
But yeah, the guy wanted to be able to pipe into my broadcast while he's watching the game in person. That would be a pretty cool thing to be able to do. You could just put on a headset and hear the play-by-play guy calling it from the arena. That would be pretty sweet. Yes, that's true. A ton of the Peach Bell schools are radio broadcasts that they sync up. I'd love for us to figure out how to do that. That'd be sweet. We should be broadcasting these things on local radio for sure. Letting more people know that we got freaking high-level D2 hoops right here in our backyard. It's amazing, and
time to call
I don't
Bob
think the word's out enough.
Yeah.
Everybody who loves sports should be, joining the booster club, doing those kinds of things if they can, and trying to build this thing up because we got something real happening here, and community has to support it for it to really thrive to the level that it can.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool. We got a lot of cool stuff happening in the Lowco. Good things happening. Kids is coming up. WHVL. Says my boss. He says we should broadcast them on WHVL out of the Ville. There we go. We can launch our own radio station in the Ville. I don't know, man. We ain't got no signal. You got to have a signal to get a radio.
Nothing. You need a radio.
That's a great point.
Yeah, you need a radio tower. You know who else doesn't have any signal? Whale Branch. The moment I stepped into the gym,
none.
Gone.
Right.
They got some kind of blocker on it or something, dude. They block it completely.
And then I'm trying to sign into the Beaufort County's guest Wi-Fi, and then I can't actually sign in because I have no signal to sign in with.
No, well, and they gave you the password? Because the password changes every day.
Yeah, I asked for the password. They're like, "Yeah, we'll give you the password," and I was like, "Well, sweet."
And you still couldn't get in?
And I couldn't get in because I had no signal to actually sign into the Wi-Fi, so it wasn't loading the page for me to sign into the Wi-Fi.
Oh man! Oh no! Yeah, that's
so I couldn't do anything.
Crisis.
But it was a great game to watch. The Canes Radio Network. I love that's what we need.
Tomorrow we also have on tap probably the biggest game of them all at the end of the day, and that's not a game at all, but a match, a wrestling match. It's going to be May River versus who was it they're wrestling against? May River versus Lawrence for the 4A state championship on Saturday. The Sharks have been ranked first pretty much all year. They've been expected to get it done, and I expect they'll get it done. But Lawrence is ranked number 3 in the state. At 103, or 106. Sorry, my oldness is coming through. They ranked 3rd and 4th. Stefano Calderon from May Rivers ranked 3rd, and then Chrisley Martin from Lawrence is ranked 4th. So that should be swing match. At 13, May Rivers ranked 1st. Lawrence is ranked 8th. That's within the realm of a swing match. 120, they're ranked 1st and 5th. May River 1st, Lawrence 5th. That'd be Marcus Folk from May River. At 126, Lawrence kids ranked 4th. 32, neither one of them was ranked. 38, Lawrence Dakota McCall's ranked 1st. May River guys not ranked. 44, Michael Aiken from Lawrence is ranked 3rd. May River guys not ranked. 150, May River's Blake Butler number 1. Lawrence is Layden Gentry number 2. And then at 157, Lawrence Jonathan Pagoda is number 6, and Leandro Larinaga from May River is number 8. At 175, May River's Josh Echevarria is number 1. Lawrence's Zane Collette is number 7. And then at 215, Lawrence's Michael Brown is number 4. And that would be it for the ranked wrestlers. So as you can see, I mean, both have a number of guys that are really highly respected across the state, ranked in the top 8 in their weight class, expected to, be there at the end. A lot of it will depend on matchups and strategy and who bumps to where, because as much as we'd love to see that 1 versus 2 matchup at 150, the reality is it probably doesn't happen. Somebody probably bumps away to try to get an advantage somewhere else and not let their hammer lose. I would guess, and who bumps away depends on who has to send first in that match. So it's gonna be good. If you have the NFHS network, it will be aired on there. I'm gonna try to catch it. I think, did we say 4 o'clock for that one? I believe. I'm gonna double check that. But I believe it's at 4 o'clock. Wrestling. But it should be really good. And I think May River's got a great shot, but they're gonna have to do what they've done all year to get it done. It will not be easy. It will be 4A will be at 4 o'clock, yes. Girls 5A at 10 a.m., then the 2A championship at noon, 3A at 2, 4A at 4, 5A Division 2 at 6, 5A Division 1 at 8. Bridges Prep boys won an OT tonight over Lake Marion. We were wondering about that one.
Wow. Yeah,
OT victory.
They definitely needed that one after getting just absolutely butchered by Hampton County the other night when that game took place. I mean, all of a sudden I was like, I'm debating whether or not to go and watch Bridges play Hampton County or go to USCB. And I think I made the right choice in going to USCB because all of a sudden I took a look at the Beaufortone coverage of it, and I just saw the score 36-9 in favor of Hampton County, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it kind of got away
during the broadcast,
early.
And we were like, oh my, and this is the one thing I'm having an issue with Bridges Prep. Very good team, very talented team, very inconsistent. I don't know what it is with them. They can't not.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, there are nights where they look like world beaters. They look so good, and then there's other nights where you're just like, dang, what happened there? Like.
Well, that Whale Branch game. That Whale Branch game they had. What was it last week? Like that was the one that shocked me the most, and I was like, where was Bridges Prep tonight?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. I think inconsistent, as you said, is probably just the best word I could come up with. It's just like, man, like if they brought it on that level every night, they would be a state championship contender.
It would have been a much better game.
And they could be, I mean, if they can put it together for 5 games in a row, like they could be a state championship contender, but we just haven't seen them be able to maintain it. There's they get it rolling and then there's a little letdown, and then they get it rolling and there's a little letdown. So I just want to see them consistently maintain it the same level of effort and output every night. And I mean, that's hard to do. Like, I'm not criticizing at all. It's just like, man, you can see the potential there, and you want
I,
it to be
Yeah.
realized. That's all it is.
Well, I'll
Not
tell you this.
criticizing at all.
I'll tell you this. On the other hand, Hampton County is looking more and more like one of the best teams in the lower state area right now. They just are. Oh, it was so much fun watching them play
Yeah.
tonight. They just play really well as a team together. Really great.
And I
team
saw a
play.
comment on the Instagram feed. I just scrolled through a minute ago and saw that Coach Creech from over that way. I think he coaches the Patrick Henry girls. He said
Yeah.
those Hampton boys have been playing AAU together since 5th grade. So, there's some real
Oh,
chemistry
well, fair
there.
enough.
And I knew their
Yeah.
JV last year was like, they only lost like one game. They had a great year. So I knew they had guys coming. I just thought they might have a little bit of growing pains with kind of a younger team this year and first year coach in there. That the culture might take a little bit to really gel, but it didn't at all. They out of the gate they look good, and now they look really good, like immaculate. The Solomon kid, 23, is impressive. He,
Yeah.
he
He is.
can rain it from long range,
He
and I
had.
saw a
He had a
dunk the
slam.
other
He had
night
a
that
slam
was
tonight.
crazy.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can
23 had
find that
another
thing.
slam tonight. Oh,
Jack.
the play that led to a slam was great too. They get down, playing half court, and they're not even dribbling. They're just passing the ball around, passed it into Solomon, and just jumped up from right under the basket and just absolutely slammed it. Just unreal hops. This team is really fun to watch. I had not seen them this year until tonight. And I'm telling you what, like I thought Bluffton was fun to watch. This team is almost just as fun to watch. It's just really, really, really cool to see Hampton County play in the way that they are. And I have high hopes for them heading towards the playoffs. The way they have been playing lately, they keep that up, then any team should be scared of this Hampton County team when lower state playoffs begin.
I tell you what, they were the team that impressed me outside of that Bluffton Bobcat Classic. That's why I put them with both girls and guys in my top 5 that week.
Yeah.
And they continue to play really, really strong basketball. It was fun to watch then, and from what I've heard, they keep on rolling. They're a
Speaking
fun
of
team to
fun to
watch.
watch this. This is fun to watch.
Oh my!
See it again. Boom!
Got some mad hops, man.
Whoa!
If he doesn't
nice,
go
yeah.
D1,
Get up.
I would love to see USCB say, "Hey, we're interested." Honestly, like
mean,
if he didn't go D1, I
think
honestly would
he's-
like to see him playing. I can't wait to
I
see
think
where
he's
he
still
goes.
young.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Is he not a
I'm pretty
sophomore?
sure. I think he's a sophomore. That I was going to check and make sure. But I think he is. No, he's a junior. Yeah, he's
Oh,
a
is he?
junior. But still, he's pretty impressive. I mean, he's listed at 6 foot, and you saw the way he gets up. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I don't know how many guys they have who are really basketball players at the next level. I think Darius Brooks has a shot. He's just pure scorer, tough guard,
Yeah.
takes contact well. He got called up as a freshman um, for that playoff run for Estill. He was on JV and then got called up to the varsity at the end and kind of filled it up offensively. So he's continued to develop. He's really tough. And then Jaquan Solomon, 23, is awesome.
Yeah, he's a
And then the
baller.
other one to watch, he's not quite there yet, but 34, 6'3" kid, sophomore Deshaun Williams. They're talking big about him. So I think he's going to be something too. So they're pretty solid, man. They got a lot of pieces. They play unselfish. They play as a team. They know what they want to do and they execute it well. They pressure the ball really well. They handle it well. They shoot the three. They can really do it all. And more than anything, they seem to really be a team. I mean, they really seem to be bought in, and that is
That's what it's all
90% of
about.
it at this level, fellas. That is such a big part of it.
It's everything.
I mean,
Yeah, it is.
You don't buy in, you got nothing.
I mean, and it's got to be everybody. If you even have
Yeah.
one that's pulling in the other direction, it just doesn't work because some people are going to follow, and then you end up with a division, and It just doesn't work unless everybody's in. So, and it's so hard to get everybody in when you're talking about high school kids. It's a hard sell sometimes. And so, all the coaches are doing the best they can. I promise you that. But sometimes the chemistry doesn't work with a certain group of kids, and sometimes it doesn't work in a certain culture of a school. And that's why you see people who have a great career somewhere, they go somewhere else and they struggle, or vice versa, because sometimes your way doesn't work there, in that culture. Sometimes you can wait it out and change it, and sometimes you can't. And so it's a tough thing. But yes, chemistry is absolutely the secret. All right, boys, we're going to bring it in for Landon. We've done enough damage tonight. Let me tell you about a few of our sponsors, and if you would like to join them, we would love to have you. Always looking for new sponsors to support what we do, so we can keep getting on here every night and talking about your kids, telling everybody how good they are and which ones need to go to the next level and what the others need to do to be able to, and all that stuff. We're out here to support the kids. We're never tearing anybody down. Any criticism we're given is meant to be constructive and informative, and to help inform people about the context of the situation and all that stuff. But we love them all, and we celebrate them. So thanks to these folks for helping us do that. And welcome back, Hudson Seafood House on the docks for another year on the Lowco Booster Club, the best place on Hilton Head for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails. And they're also the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. New episode came out Wednesday night. Always great listening to, or Tuesday night, sorry. Always great listening to Rich Basirico, Bob Stevens, and of course the legendary Hall of Famer Curry Kirkpatrick. So happy that we give him a platform in 2025, because we need his voice in the world. And then Base Hit Life, our baseball and softball themed apparel sponsor. Live your best base hit life at basehitlife.com and get some great, cool baseball and softball themed apparel, so you can be decked out at the ballpark this spring. Dr. Ambrose Cole, official chiropractor. Find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor, presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. And I know Reverence, all the guys at Reverence are pulling for the Sharks to bring one home to the Lowco tomorrow. I don't know that we've had state dual champions. It's been a long time. I know Battery Creek won some back in the day. I may have to research that tonight and figure out who's got the record there, who was the most recent in the Lowco. And then Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. That's where Tony O'Banner gets squared up. That's where our guy One Time gets his haircut, Max. You saw how good that hair was looking today.
It was looking fresh. Definitely fresh.
So's the field, thanks to One Time and Trey.
Did y'all get a Christian Academy JP2 scores?
I saw we had a girl.
The one
score.
is on the bottom.
Right,
JP2.
I'm about to get the boys score. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, I have a little One-Time video, because we can never have enough One-Time video
Honestly.
in our lives. He even appears on camera and speaks.
I have a score.
Damn, that's a good picture.
There's Trey.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
I'm doing good, baby.
Okay.
One time.
Let your baseball coach know we'll come back out Monday.
Yes, sir. I already texted him and said you boys been working on the field. It's looking good.
Oh, okay. One time.
One time.
One time in the house.
One time in the house,
Yes, sir.
baby.
All right, one time in the house. Baby.
How about this Trey? This man working, ain't he? He a good one. He a good one.
Here I am walking in the background, by the way. I do have a final score for the boys game. JP2 58, Hilton Head Christian Academy 44. So a bit of a different game this time around, but still
similar margin at the end,
14-point game.
Yeah, it was 60-54 the game that we called, so pretty similar.
It's a little wider margin. That's a little more like what I kind of expected.
That's what I expected the first time around.
Right.
But I thought by the second time, JP2, was gonna, try and smoke Christian Academy the second time around, and it just, it's what it is. That is a rivalry. It has become one of the bigger rivalries for the private school area, right? These days,
no doubt.
So with that being said, you can't really expect. You got to expect the unexpected when it comes to those games, and Sure enough, the unexpected happened the first game. JP2 won that game, but it was much closer than I think any of us thought it was going to be. And then, second time around, still 14-point game, not bad. And it shows not only is JP2, I think they're going to be ready by the time playoffs come around, but it also tells me Hilton Head Christian Academy has really improved this season from the beginning of the season to where they are now. Just really,
tremendously,
really, really
and no
impressive.
seniors, right? So everybody's
No
back.
seniors.
The
No
first
seniors.
game,
And their JV's good. Their JV's beating people.
Their JV's very good.
They're beating everybody.
actually outside of last week when I called the HHCA JP2 games with you, JJ, the only time that I saw HHCA, either girls or guys, was all the way back in, I think it was mid-December when they took on May River. And
Right.
when those games were at HHCA. And obviously the girls game was a lot tighter than the guys game. There were moments that I was impressed with HHCA and their guys team that night, what they did, but they still got beat by 20, 73-53. And then seeing what I saw, calling what I called last week against JP2, yeah, HHCA's guys team has definitely improved leaps and bounds from where they were in early to mid December to where they are now. And they have a chance to make things interesting in the postseason for sure. I have zero doubt about that.
Yeah. Well, wait, who are you talking about? HHCA?
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna make the postseason. Because
No,
they
they
have that
won't.
region tournament at HHCA on Saturday, but it's only the top 4 teams in the region,
And
so they
weren't
won't
even
qualify.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and only
Yeah,
the top 2
they're not
teams
even.
from the tournament
They're
go
not
on
even
to
close.
the
They're not even
postseason.
close. They're
So
sitting as
yeah,
the
they're
last
not.
team in that region right now, unfortunately.
No,
for
they're
both
ahead of
teams.
Camden. The boys are ahead of Camden.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they are ahead of Camden. Sorry,
They
my
smoked
bad.
them twice, but
Yeah.
they're not going to make the top 4. It's going to be
No.
Wilson Hall, Lawrence Manning, Trinity, and JP2.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, but the
I just
future's
have a
bright
weird.
there. I do believe
I
that,
just have a
especially for
weird
the boys
feeling.
team. The girls have a little further to go. They don't have any depth right now. Like their first 5 could play with JP2 for a little while, but they just don't have any bench depth right now.
Right.
And I don't know if they have a JV. Do they have a JV girls? I
I
think the girls program's a little
Yeah, I don't
dry
know.
right now, and
They got
they've
middle
got to
school girls programs, and those middle
Yeah.
school girls teams have been kind of beaten down on pretty much
Yeah,
everyone.
they've got some work to do. They got to build
Yeah,
that
they
back
do.
up, from the
But I mean,
grassroots
if
level.
you pay attention
But
to
the
the sports
boys program is
girls,
in good shape, I think, in the next couple of years.
I'm gonna
The only thing
say
they'll have
this.
to worry about with all those JV kids coming up is like having enough, being able to feed all the mouths. They may have some leakage where kids don't like their role and they go somewhere else. But
Here's the other thing
but they're set up pretty good.
Yeah, here's the thing for the middle school girls program. The middle school girls teams have been on an absolute tear this year, and I have a feeling if they all stay together going up through high school, that's where the future of the program is going to be at.
Oh, the middle
and-
school girls are strong.
Yeah, they were strong this season. They've been strong so far this season. They've played some good teams. I'm pretty sure both the middle school girls and the middle school boys absolutely destroyed JP2 tonight. I did see the scores. Hold on, let me check real quick.
Yeah, man, we love signing day. That's signing day is what it's all about. The kids who grind and grind and grind and then get that opportunity. Happy for your boy going
here we go.
coastal. No chance.
So the middle school girls won 23-8 over JP2 tonight, and then the middle school boys also won 47-10 over JP2.
Okay,
So, like,
I think HHCA is going to be all right. I think
Look
they got
out.
The thing.
2-3 years down the
What did I
road.
see the other day?
They're loading back up.
They're playing some Montessori school. I think it was like Bluffton Montessori, so like only middle school. And it was, I believe, like 67-5 in favor of the boys, and then like 70-12 in favor of the girls, or something like that at the middle school level. So like, I mean, yeah, they got some talent at the middle school level right now. It's just it's going to take some time for the girls to get those girls up to the varsity level and have experience. So it's a young program for the girls team, girls program, but they're going to get there. It's going to take a few years, but they're going to get there.
Yep. Any other parting thoughts, Marcus Walsh?
I actually have one. I know you were mentioning earlier, you were like, gosh, I hope I'm not getting sick. with the snow that happened a couple of weeks ago, we had our special weather show and whatever else
Yeah.
going on, everything delayed and that type of thing. I got run down. I'm still not quite over it yet, but I'm getting very, very close.
A lot of junk going around.
Yeah, there's so much stuff going around. Kevin Libby introduced me to traditional medicinals tea.
Yeah, you showed me the throat coat.
Yes,
a
good
while
stuff.
back.
Some of that.
Throat coat, and this was a few years ago for me that he introduced me to. They've got the original flavor, which tastes like the anise candies that we used to eat back when we were kids. If you're a
Oh.
fan of that, I love that
Nah.
stuff. They
Like
also
black
have
licorice? No.
yeah,
Ugh.
I was a big fan of that. My grandfather and I would just eat those things right out of the
Oh.
bucket
You're
that,
like my
that
dad,
they came
man.
You're the
My
ones.
dad loves black licorice.
You're the ones who they keep making that crap for.
and they also have a lemon echinacea.
That
I can't
sounds
say that word for
nice.
some reason. They have that
sounds
flavor too, which I've tried. I think I'm actually going to have some here when we
That
finish
sounds
up
way better.
here.
My wife's got
But
some kind of tea down there. I'm gonna go have some too.
I especially
That's
thought of
funny.
you because you've got a very busy day ahead of you tomorrow, including tomorrow night.
I just
doing
be yelling too
doing a
much.
bunch, and for you too, Max, of course. And I was getting after it, in the gym today too with Kirkland Court with both those games. Of course, doesn't take much to get this guy riled up and getting going.
I did one night of screaming my head off coaching a rec
Coaching,
basketball
right.
team, and I just lost my voice in a matter of like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
At least I'm out of the wrestling coaching business for a minute. That'll save my voice a little
that'll
bit.
help.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
one, that's what really shreds it.
I did see something tonight. Very interesting. A record. I'd say it is a record. LeBron James has joined Michael Jordan tonight as one of only two 40-year-old NBA basketball players with a 40-point game.
Hey.
40 over 40.
Yeah, man. And he
I mean,
basically what he said is
it's kind of those two are kind of in their own class, right?
oh
Like,
God, no.
I mean,
The fact
not
that he
necessarily.
is- I mean,
No,
look
but
what
I
he
mean,
did.
like those two are separate from the rest in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's an argument between those two that there's not a winning side to. Like
No,
you
there's
can
not.
you can make a winning
Here's
argument
what-
for either side.
Here's what I'm gonna.
And there's nobody else that really fits in that category. I think like Kareem and Bill Russell are in a different category, and you could argue that one of them might be the greatest player of all, or Wilt Chamberlain, but like those are all big men, right? Like dominant big men. Whereas LeBron and Jordan are much more comparable as
Yeah.
the guy that had the ball in his hands his whole career and like defined his teams. And you can argue either way. I mean, I think Jordan was the better competitor without a question. Like he had the killer instinct that no one else ever has. But I think LeBron has been certainly a better teammate, I think, than Jordan.
I was just going to say that. LeBron
and
is a
maybe
better teammate,
maybe a better overall
facilitator,
player, but just without
and-
quite as much killer instinct.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I would agree with that. He can do more with his game in certain aspects. But yeah, in terms of just that gut killer instinct that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant had. And
Right.
Kobe, in terms of his demeanor, may he and Gianna rest in peace. Gosh, hard to believe that
Still
we
remember
just
that day.
celebrated the anniversary of their
I know
passing.
exactly where I was on that day.
Wow, those guys had that instinct. You could call LeBron kind of like a Michael Johnson or a Magic Jordan, if you will, because he is much more Michael Jordan now, and that really I think took place. I think that took place when he went to Miami. Obviously because he was able to get those titles. It was predominantly him working with Dwayne Wade as the 1-2 punch. Yeah, Chris Bosh was on the team, and Chris Bosh was still a very good player, but it was LeBron and Dwayne Wade's team. And then obviously he came home and he got a championship for Cleveland, and now we see what he's doing with LA and the plethora of players that he's playing with the Lakers. but a lot of people, certainly pre him heading to Miami, viewed him as this generation's Magic Johnson because of what he can do as the full
Yeah.
player.
Yeah, he was. That's
he could
true.
play.
It's kind of funny how he's come to be compared to Jordan the most, because you're right. His game actually was a lot more like Magic's for
Magic.
most of his career.
Oh
And
yeah, I mean,
and
he
I
could play
tell you
point
what,
guard.
I've
He could
said
play
it,
point guard.
of course, and I've said it for a long time. If there was one guy that I really wish I could have seen, and you were old enough to see him,
Oh
JJ,
yeah,
play a little
Magic.
bit, that's Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
grew up
I was a
on
little
Lakers
tyke
Celtics.
when he
Yeah.
was
Yeah, I
just
wasn't
finishing
alive,
up.
so, you know.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
just missed him.
my first like NBA memories were like the annual Lakers Celtics,
Right.
Bird versus
I think
Magic, and Dennis Johnson and Robert Parrish and Bill Walton and Danny Ainge, and on the one side, and then you had Worthy and Magic and Kareem and all these guys on the other side.
Yeah.
That was fun
I think
times.
what for me, like what really got me into sports was watching Kobe and Pau Gasol win back-to-back NBA titles. I think that was the moment I realized, wow, I really
I was
love
also all about the Seattle Supersonics, Gary Payton, Sean
Dude,
Kemp, Detlef
bring them
Schrempf.
back,
Yeah.
please.
I loved them
Bring
so
back
much.
the Supersonics, man.
They
I
were
love
my
the
favorite
Supersonics
team.
back.
When like I was a Jordan guy, of course, because who wasn't, right?
Yeah.
So I was a Bulls guy. But then once the Bulls started winning, like I kind of got like
Tired of it?
disenfranchised. Yeah, I was like, this isn't that fun. I want to be a fan of a new team, so I picked the Sonics, and they were my team. And then they moved to Oklahoma City and broke my heart.
With the glove, Gary Payton, man. The
Yeah.
glove.
I want to thank Misa Garzone real quick
Kevin
too.
Libby's named for Kevin McHale.
Yes, and he mentioned that on the broadcast, and I
Really?
knew that as well.
Another
Um,
Celtics legend.
I want to thank Misa for joining me in the second quarter of the guys game. We talked obviously a ton
Legend.
about what's going on with May River, about his run into politics, and it was a very successful one, although it fell short for him, and everything that's going on there. I mean, he's been entrenched in May River athletics and things with the school for so long, and he gave us, and myself a really good update with everything going on. So I can't wait for you guys to check that out next week. And again, Tony Bruin, Red, will be with us on Tuesday as we will see the Hilton Head Bluffton game in the Den, which I'm really looking forward to. That's going to be, we're seeing May River again against Bluffton in the Den on Tuesday, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I've got a special tribute, little sneak peek, if or not sneak peek, but a little bit of a gosh, I'm tired. What's the word? A little bit of a tease.
Yeah,
A little
there
bit
we
of a
go.
tease that I'm going to have a special tribute in that broadcast as well.
All right, very cool. My parting thoughts: Kevin Libby said he loves well-maintained clay. One time and Trey been working on that softball field every day, and look at that.
Oh, that is
They got us
sweet.
all trimmed up. It's a beauty. We're loving life. It's good times. KD was drafted by the Sonics. Yes,
He was.
Lost to the Lakers on Cube's good day.
I think he was like 7 foot, 220 pounds back in those days, or practically.
And then
He was
Libby
a
also
stick.
congratulated me on recruiting a softball team. So the current numbers, we officially have 9 middle schoolers. So we need to add a little depth, but we got enough that we can officially field a middle school team. And I have 17 names on my varsity list right now. There's a few that haven't made it out yet, and so you don't know till they actually show up. But I think we're gonna be fully rostered, and we started adding some more games to the schedule today. Got a couple middle school games on the schedule. Got a couple more high school games. Working on more middle school. We got Hampton High School on the schedule. We got North District in Hampton on the middle school schedule. We're working on Colleton on the middle school schedule. I think we're going to get Bluffton Middle, McCracken for at least scrimmages, if not actual games. So we're loading up that schedule. We're coming for it. The girls are loving it, man. They're having fun. They are learning fast, and it's been a terrific first week. And we'll be out there Sunday 1 to 5, not just the Canes, open to girls throughout the area, boys for baseball, girls for softball, girls for hoops. We'll be out there 1 to 5 in the Ville. So come see us. Check out the One Lowco Instagram for details and go to onelowco.org to get registered. It's just $20 to get a couple hours of good work. So
nice.
And you're supporting a good cause. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
also, I will share a really cool thing. Made a plea for gloves yesterday because we had
Oh,
more
yeah.
players than gloves, and I had a couple gloves waiting for me in the parking lot this morning. I got a bunch more people who have offered to donate gloves. We just got to hook up, got to get them out to school, and got some donations last night. OG Sand Shark Caitlin Vaughn dropped in a nice donation. I got my left-handed first baseman a first base mitt. Got donations from Coach Beach as well as a high school friend and a gentleman I didn't even know who saw my Facebook post, and we got some other gloves. So we're on the rise, and we're gonna try to, my thing. I want to try to replicate this and help people from other programs in other towns that are struggling to get what they need and help them get off the ground. So we're gonna do it all. We're gonna do it all, man. Ain't no competition. We can all win. One Lowco.
Yes,
All right, boys. Great
Right.
show tonight. Enjoyed it as always. Thanks for riding along. Wes took the night off. He's got to rest the pipes. He had baseball games tonight at City Hall, and then he's got full slate tomorrow as well. So we don't begrudge him not spending the hour and however many minutes with us tonight. But we appreciate
care of
you
that
doing so.
voice, Wes.
That's right. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and we thank all of our sponsors for making it possible, especially the OGs, the All-Stars Mickelson Law Firm. If you want to join them as a sponsor, get to know us. Info at LowcoSports.com, all the socials right here. Comment on the feed. Get my number. It's out there, 843-540-9394. You can find it. But call me up. Let's get it going. Let's do this thing together and support kids around the Lowco, playing sports, repping the Lowco. For Max Araj and Marcus Walsh and all of our other friends, I'm Justin Jarrett. Thanks so much for hanging out. And until next time, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing.